They changed. What? The picture of Las Vegas. Need some music in my ear. Boogity 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 boo. That's Las Vegas back in 2014. Is anybody out there? Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Anybody out there? Oh, I just put a clip. Hello, my name is Margie. I'm a Heyoka empath. I just like to have these talks on the way I feel about things. I was just listening to Avicii. Avicii. Savici. Aviachi. Rest in peace. I bet he's chilling up there with Isaac Cappy. They're all hanging out with. See, that's the thing, is like when your souls pass, y'all converge in the no place space. So why don't you just figure out how to get along down here? Because it's about control and dominance. Look at this. This is Las Vegas. Look how many people that is. They say Las Vegas is dead. I'm not in Las Vegas. Although today, on my talk today, I said I'm in Las Vegas. Because I've been to Vegas. Just because I'm there now doesn't mean I haven't been there. So sometimes I say I'm in different places because I've been there. And maybe people I passed on the street when I was there, I will pass on their FYP. Because that's how energy works. Likes attracts likes. Likes attracts likes. It's magnetics of genetics. And we're all related. If only in the capacity of being in close relation to others, that is how we are related on this incarnate at the same time. And people are creating the sum of all parts with warped perceptions, and that's why reality is getting warped, because it's being derived by a bunch of perceivers that are warped. That their instrument is not fine-tuned. Their instrument is warped. It's dilapidated. It's been in the sun. It's been run over, beat up. It's been abused. And they can't hold up the facade anymore. The Constitution, that was the first script of the contrived reality. We'll just write on this paper how things are, and then they can just argue amongst themselves the interpretation of what's written on this paper. Meanwhile, over here, we can do whatever we want in the dark, dirty dungeons of the soulless pits of their existence, because their soul sacks have no soul. That's why people animate around and go around and do ditty parties and hang out with Epstein. That's why the most important people, they call themselves the most important people on the planet, that dude had on speed dial. That's access. That's better than money. 444. And people are figuring out, dude, that dude ain't dead. I'm on the timeline with that attorney lady, that Greek chick that lives in, I think, Florida. Wants to find a nice lady for her brother. That's so sweet. I don't know, maybe he found one already. That was a long time ago. Anyway, I remember her showing the same video that I saw when he like walked, like they showed like somebody his height walk in, and then somebody his height dressed up as a guard, or somebody his height walk in as a guard, and then dressed up, and then it like you walk out and it was him dressed up as a guard. I mean, they're not that smart. They need to employ more people from Hollywood is what they need to do. So it makes it look better, but they don't have the budgets. So they got to do what they can, dude. I've worked in those institutions. I was in the military. I was like, dude, the behind the scenes is a much different reality than the story that they impose of what America is. It is, they call it American Dream because it's not reality. Like the 9 to 5, the do what we say, not what we do, the going over there to kill people. It's all their weird ritual based on their belief system. They make us do things. That's in Vegas. If anybody's around there, that's in Vegas in 2014, back when Sin City was popping. I don't think it looks like that anymore. Maybe it will this summer. I went there back in 2014 for my 40th birthday. That was the launching part. Here, I'll show you what we did. It was pretty hella dope. You fly out of Vegas. It's called Western River Expeditions. You go rafting down Grand Canyon. It's how you hang out with the dinosaurs. Cost about $3,000. They cook for you and stuff, but you learn a lot about science. Like, see the reflection at the bottom of that? From the top of the sphere that we live in? Because we live in like a snow globe. And now they're shaking stuff up, so people are like, I'm so scared, I'm going to go do things that scared people do. To stimulate the economy. That's how they stimulate the economies. Make them scared. They want to release that economy stimulations. Dude, America's such a liar. Oh, I took that picture when I was in Vegas that time. Is that place still there? See, they have, Earth is an Etch-a-Sketch. They want to get people stuck in their feelings with appeal to emotion fallacies and all the other fallacy friends. Get them stuck in their, and then we'll just keep rewriting the slate, and then we'll keep getting attached, and then they'll be like, I love Vegas. When do you love Vegas? I don't love Vegas. I'm a spectator on this Earth. I'm an alien on this planet. Where I live now, it looks more like this. That's where I live now. And I get to hang out with frickin' ravens, like in that tree, that are as long as my arm. Because genetics is magnetics, and my DNA brought me back to New Mexico. But back to my story about Sin City and why it's evolving and changing is because everyone's waking up to something. We always are. That's what life is about. Life is about discovery. Discovery is waking up to a new belief system that you had different that was from yesterday. That you've got a piece of information. And what's information? Information to me is a little piece of data in the no place space that you can't grasp onto in the tangibles. But if you get quiet and go real quiet and dip down and get into the meditate state, that's all access pass to the no place space. That's where all the data and all the information is held. That's why we have the creative realms and people make movies, and so many like-minded people go to those movies because they all tap in. When they imagine, they all go to the same realms, and then the people, the controllers know this, and they have access to those realms, and then they guide and direct them in ways of entertainment and radio and media. Tell them there's a war going on over there. Tell them that there's something, they had me go to some bullshit military engagement in '03. I was on the island of Crete. I couldn't read any signs. I stayed in this hotel right there. That's the hotel I got to. I'm fighting up. We're bombing Iraq, shock and awe, and that was my view from that's the hotel that I stayed in. I got pictures because it's all about tourism and stimulating the economies. They blocked me on their Facebook page because I was like, they were so nice. They don't want to know that pool, they rebuilt it in 2003 when I was there, man. It was like a week. So they had a whole crew because I'd come home and I'd watch it. I'd come hotel from Suda Bay, the bomb where I was. There were all day long. I just watched planes launch and just boom, boom, and then I'd go get up in the next morning and I'd watch the news in languages I couldn't understand, and just you just see boom, 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 and I'm like, oh my God. That stuff is coming from where I go to work at. That's crazy. I just signed up to go to college because I know I was going to have to take care of Mom. And now I'm at a war where people are dying. Because I was at Suda Bay Crete, that's a cool picture. I don't want to look at that. That's kind of dope. That's the sun. Suda Bay Crete, that's where, that's not too far from the mountain of Olympus. I feel so bad about stuff I did back then. What I do now is I make candy. That's the medicine I give to people for so that when they feel bad about stuff that they got paid to do, they don't gotta be harmful or nothing. Just eat some candy and go pick up some trash and make the world a better place. Cause Washington D.C. and Hollywood they're two heads on the same beast. They're like Rahu and Ketu. There's the head and the snake is of the beast system, and they just chase each other around. And DC creates movies about war and conflict, and then people get excited about war and conflict, and then DC goes off and does the stuff that Hollywood says. I misspoke. Let me reiterate. So, Hollywood creates the narrative of war movies, and then DC creates the narrative of freedom and democracy, that we have to go over there and kill people for our advantage, and then have parades about it. And then Hollywood perpetuates it, and then both sides create division while the regular people are just trying to keep roofs over their head, and every first of the month more and more people become homeless. I know that's a fact. And sometimes you see people get more homes or get housed, but not as much as you see people become homeless, because greed is growing. Greed has grown like that episode of Twilight Zone where the sun don't come up. It's like a darkness. It's like evil has gotten to a place. I'm listening to this song by this Avicii dude. I just shared it in a post on on here. And he died like 10 years ago, made that video however long ago, see, and it's about people getting traded for, chasing sensations. I'm just going to call it that. And dude's dead now, like Isaac Cappy, because if you tell the truth, if somebody doesn't want your truth to be told, you could be silenced. You got to be careful. But there's some energies, because we're just containers that hold our soul sack. And there's some spirits that are so vast that it's like they let them live on Earth for a while because they don't want to release that potentiality to the no place space. See what's going on in weather everywhere? It's just different. It's just weird. It's just it's just people that lived on Earth and just didn't live an authentic life. It creates a disruption in the spirit, and then when those spirits pass over to the other side, there's greater disruption. And so there's all this energy that's going around in the no place space of angst and frustration and anger, rage, all that stuff. I like that. And there aren't enough babies being born on this earth to reincarnate so they can, be born and let that out. There ain't enough love, and think about all the beings that are on this place that weren't born from a place of love. I'm sure there's plenty of legitimate fairy tale stories where people, get married with the intention of loving each other their whole life and till death do they part, and then they have kids, and the kids are wonderful and perfect and grow up just as the program in their mind designates, that says. They mark all the T's, dot all the I's of what success is. They play the sports, they do all the things, they win the awards. They have all the right aspirations. They like all the right people. Well, there's a lot of us out here that we didn't have that experience. There's more of us out here that were born into environments that neither the mother nor the father wanted the result of what they got from chasing sensations. That cracks me up, man. People are just going out and I just want to just get laid, get it in, sex, porn industry, Epstein, it's all of it's the same to me. I've been celibate 9 years. It's just a bunch of people rubbing all over each other and oozing shit so they can get diseases because they feel it disease in their heart. And so now look at the product of all their chasing sensations, all their desires. Look at where it got everybody. Look where it got them all. Look at all the glass houses that are falling, all the cards, houses of cards, all the stages that were deliberately put in place to manipulate and control and cheat the whole. They created a whole system to cheat the system. Just pay your taxes. Keep your head down. Don't cause no trouble. Be a good person. Brr, brr, brr. Santa's gonna come and bring you everything your heart desires if you're good. If you're good, we'll go to McDonald's. Get French fries. If you feel bad, we'll go to McDonald's. We'll get your French fries. It'll make you feel better. If you're good, buy this. Oh, you feel bad? That's okay. Go out there and do this. It'll make you feel better. That's where I live in Taos. It's a make you feel better town. Yet there's so much sickness, and they find skulls and stuff in people's yards. Like, that don't happen in places of wellness. So, kind of makes me think there's a whole lot of snake sales or snake oil sales representatives in New Mexico, the last place state. The last place state. Is your state the last place state too? Are you last in all things that matter in the USA? Because I know that I hear people in Oklahoma say that that Oklahoma is the worst in education, and I know New Mexico is, and I've lived in Oregon, and I wasn't really impressed by them. A place that I knew of the most teachers was Omaha. Like, I used to go to the class and talk to the students. I was that airman. I did it through like health and sciences. I did it through like high school and talked to them about don't drink because it causes 7 kinds of cancer, and it makes you think it's your best friend, and you don't need to hang out with anybody else but your liquor of choice, and then it makes people do stupid, dirty, nasty things. Ultimately, it's a progressive disease, so even though I haven't drank in a number of years, I could go to the liquor store right now and pick up right where I left off and be up to a 12 pack of a day and a fifth of Jack Daniels, a fifth of whiskey. I was a morning drunk. I like to get up and because I have a lot of energy and I want to taper it down. So I'd be like, dude, I'd go out and drink and drive like a scumbag in the morning because people don't suspect you drinking and driving in the morning. No one's ever gonna suspect that. That's the kind of nasty, nasty attitude I had. And then I worked in radiology department at Creighton University, and I worked with the kid named Adam. What was his last name? Smith. I always called them by their first names. He was a resident and he was on his way to take his two sons in the back seat on the way to their first day of school. And some scumbag that I had the same frequency of was in his frequency. I'd gotten sober at this point and had been sober a number of years. But this dude, he was self-will. He was listening to all those demons that says you're a big important person. Just go out and, grab your bottle of vodka and just go out and joyride, and he did that. And they met. He and Adam met on their cars collided on the top of an overpass in Omaha, and because the hospital I worked in, radiology department, it was a level 1 trauma center in Omaha. There were 2 at the time. And so they brought him to that hospital. They also brought the man that crashed Adam. Adam was killed. Adam died. His kids lived. They had to watch their father die in the back seat. The one kid I'm sure he probably still has severs because his legs were shattered because he was in a car seat. But because of the impact, it shattered both of his legs. Dr. Phelan, rest in peace, homie. He went into that kid's room that hit and killed him and freaking laid into that kid. Because Adam was a good kid. He had a promising future, and the scumbag lives. That's how it goes. Mostly, the scumbag lives. The scumbag walks. And what do? Are they going to continue the trajectory of just being a scumbag, or are they going to stop being a scumbag because they feel so bad about the lives lost? And that's the route. I could only do 6 years in the military because I'm like, dude, these fools are a bunch of paid actors. They're a bunch of Barney Fifes. They're not even good at it. They all dereliction to duty every day, because if you knew how much your freaking moms and dads and aunts and uncles and proud military members were fucking slackers. Like, because when I was in, they were gonna kick me out because I should have just bought bigger uniforms, but they gave me these and then muscle weighs more than fat, and it was this whole thing. And then I looked away from the military because I'm like, it's a joke. It's a circus. It's like herding cats. The officers are like the worst of the best in the civilian world that like nobody takes seriously, and then they're like, well, I'm going to join the military, and then people have to listen to me. And then they go the officer route, or they're like me and they're like, fuck it, I just got to pay the bills and I don't want to do bullshit, like, well, I don't want to do fast food bullshit, so I'll do this bullshit instead, and then go to college and get an education at the same time. And then when I went in, they did all 9/11, all that stuff. I mean, I flipped off George Bush on 9/11 out the 8-shot pinger door. I figured out it's just a bunch of freaking cokeheads, party boys, frat boys that hide in freaking back rooms, offices, in bunkers 10 feet below, and lock the world out, and bend each other all over the table and stuff, and party and hang out, and because it smells like a strip club down there, and because I've been down there and it smells no different. I'm like, you know what people are really doing, and is it really 10 feet down, or do they just put you in a little box and shake it around for for the duration of what it would take to go down 10 floors. Because I don't believe anything. Dude, the planes that we worked on, there were the reconnaissance plane, the looking glass planes, and all that stuff. Like, they freaking flow with broken back. They wouldn't even fly straight. Okay? So, you're gonna try and tell me that the greatest military in the world is just gonna keep slapping paint over shit and then tell us it's great? They're not even building new planes anymore. All the F-16s, all this shit is like old trash stuff that they're just hoping that people or lists that are gonna be smart enough to fly them. That's why they're doing drone everything. You don't need pilots. You don't need people that are smart enough to figure out, because you gotta have brains. You can't just go wee crash. It's too pricey anymore. Look at all the planes. It's like, it's lack of intelligence. It's people don't have spatial awareness. They don't care. They're just, because they see stuff on TV and then they act it out. And then they're like, oh God, oh dear, I need to have some sort of ability. I need to have some kind of skill to do this. I'm one of those people, I can operate pretty much any piece of equipment. I would do it quicker if I watch somebody do it. I could still figure it out though. I'm a jack of all trades. So I know the deck is stacked. You know why? Because my brother stacks the deck. And he's one of them. It's the only tattoo he's ever had. They give them away by their symbols and their signs. I wonder if he ever had it removed. Because people, I think tattoos are scars from past lives. And that's his Achilles heel. That's his Achilles heel. He's a frat brat. He's an agency boy. He's a script writer. He's a do as I say, don't do as I do. He's one of those people that hide in rooms and then if there's any kind of, oh my God, I could be exposed for what I actually am, then people will put on you as much threat as they feel, sometimes more. I have to resist that. I'm one of those weird invert peoples, those freaks in nature. Like, I don't get involved in relationships because the rewiring in here, and that's why they do it, because they've been doing genetically modified engineering of people for all time. As long as there's people that want to, as long as there's been like slaves, they got to make people to do work for them. The incubator babies, the Cabbage Patch Kids, the orphanage, all the people without parents. They take the parents, and then the parents have no, and then they do weird stuff with the kids. They always have forever. I was 10 months old. My hip still pops. I'm teaching people about that. I'm meeting a lady soon. She makes inserts for your shoes. I want to see maybe if she wants to pass this knowledge on to me, because I'd be able to take care of that. I'd take that on. And then she could always have a place to come, to travel and do it. And I could just like help maintain and stuff like that. Because I want to make shoes. I want to, like there's so many facets about, because I just want to build things in my shop and then give it to people in the community that can't pay all that the system requires so that they can live a more comfortable life. If I have the ability, and I've gathered all the abilities, my knowledge base is vast. It's expensive. Extensive. I work with. There's all kinds of stuff I could do. I want to learn to do more. I want to make my own stickers. I want to make my own T-shirts. I want to do screen printing and embroidery, and I want to create a community where whenever somebody's mad or wants to drink too much and they create havoc, I just want them to sit with me and tell me why. And then I could share with them why I used to do those things. And then maybe there's other alternative things that they want to do, but they don't have access to do it. Maybe they don't have, that's the thing is, I've seen in society, in every place I've ever lived, is people that don't have access and they don't use their energy wisely. They just don't use their energy wisely. They're not, they don't, they wake up and they're like, they got to get up and go, but they got no place to go because all the jobs have been given to the wrong people because of nepotism. Like, I figured out I've given my resume to managers before and be like, would you hire me? Would you look at this resume and be like, this is somebody that I want to work here? And they say yes. Yet I became unemployable in 2016. And I was like, dude, is Active Directory, does that fold out into real world where people are allowed access? And then I've started seeing, yep. Like, what the fuck is... And you know how I see it? I see it on TikTok. Like, I see one person doing something. I see one broad recording herself as a news anchor someplace up there in the Northeast. And then in a matter of 6 weeks, I scroll through and that's all I see. I see like 7 or 8 doing the same thing, but she had to leave, or she left her last one because they told her that they just didn't like her. Are people seeing that? It has nothing to do with what you like. They don't even have to like you. They just have to have somebody above them that says, let this person do what they want. That's why there's so many people that go around the world do crazy stuff. Y'all got all these people going around just doing whatever they want. And it's not much of it really does anything to benefit people that really needed a break. There's a lot of folks just need a break in life. I needed a break. I got my break. I have my break. I'm cool. Whatever happens now, it can't. I guess it could. I mean, that's not saying. I mean, there's things that always could be worse, you know. I don't have to worry about, like, the comfort of things because I'm learning attachment, and plus the things that I love, that when they're uncomfortable, it makes me uncomfortable. It pains me when things are uncomfortable in life. I have to fix things. And if that fixing, but I learned to differentiate that fixing things oftentimes has to do with just not even just listening. I can fix how somebody feels by keeping my big yapper closed. I was at the post office the other day. Is this weird? I talk loud. I learned in speech class to enunciate, and I talk loud. And plus I'm losing my hearing. And I talk loud. It's who I am. I'm at the post office, and the lady was helping a woman in front of me, and I wasn't paying attention. I was talking on the phone with a friend of mine. And I'm like, la la, and I'm talking to my friend. And this old lady with a mask on. Why do people still wear masks? I don't understand this planet. I'm just here visiting for my duration. And I just collect data on all the nonsense of what Earth is. And so this broad, older woman, like in her 60s maybe, I don't know, mad at me because I look healthy. Because they mad at you because they ain't like you. And so there's a woman behind me, and I move around because I'm constantly in pain, and I stay out of people's bubble, and I'd like it if they stay out of mine, and It's all well and good, and this woman, and I'm talking to my friend on the phone, and this woman goes, "Excuse me," she interrupts my conversation. "Excuse me." And I look at her, and she's like, "Could you keep it down? You're talking really loud." And I said, "No. As a matter of fact, I can't, because I just talk loud. And if I were to, like, get lower, then what you're asking me to do is change who I am so you could be at some kind of comfort level, so you want me to be uncomfortable. So, no, I'm not going to do that. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to do that because of songs like the Soup Dragons. I'm free to do what I want any old time. See, because, like, don't come at me. Don't. Just leave me alone. Just let me be. I don't hurt anybody. I make fun and I poke at people because they poke at me. And as soon as I start poking back, they don't like it. And the lady behind me was just like, between us. I said, how are you going to tell a grown adult how they're going to act? You know how? Because you feel powerless. And you see me living as an authentic being, and you a fake bitch in a mask that didn't live the way that she wanted to. So you feel like because you have to control everything you do in your life, that you're going to put that crap on me. Mom taught me a long time ago, don't pick it up, Marge. Don't pick it up. Whatever people say you are, don't let them be right. Don't pick it up. Don't make it true. Don't make other people's definitions of you your reality, because you're a good person. And they're not, because like attracts like. There's a lot of people that have generational shadows and demons attached to them, and they cling into them, and then they drag them everywhere, and they buy big stupid trucks and that are lifted up off the ground. Dude, little 5'4" dudes getting into big tall trucks cracks me up. They're not big in stature in the last place state. There's a lot of inbred, a lot of generational bleh. Because people, it's narcissism. When people like themselves, they'll like themselves and their sister. They like themselves, they'll like themselves and their mom. They like themselves, like, so I'm always okay with a little bit of self-love. Mommy, daddy issues, like, who doesn't have those? Like I said, I'm just a little alien being visiting on this planet as a spectator, collecting data to bring it back to the mothership and go, this is my mom's mom, though. Isn't that a trip? That's mom's mom. That's where this scowl comes from. That's where the scowl comes from. I think that's funny. Can I get a clip of that? Can I get a clip of that? That's where my scowl comes from. That's my mom's mom. Priscilla Cisneros. Cuesta. I ended up at frickin' Taos. From Salem, Oregon. When I moved to Flagstaff, Taos was not on my radar. And I moved here and find out my adopted mother was born to this broad. And she was a Valentine's baby. And they still throw her away. How you gonna throw a baby away? That's what soulless people do. So my mom was born and not raised in New Mexico. So I'm back here to cash in on all that generational nepotism. Give me my land back that's due to me. They have this restaurant up in Cuesta called, it used to be Frank's. You walk in, they have a wall of veterans. I want to go up and take my 8x10 up there and be like, hey, I count, don't I? Not allowed to be a local? because I tell the truth, and I'll tell them that your wars are lies, and it's just a bunch of you guys freaking going off and getting your D's dirty off on a distant land, and then you have to come back and explain to your wives why they got gonorrhea and stuff like that, because men ain't faithful. They're not faithful. They're dirty. They're gross. They're hairy butts. I experimented once with heterosexuality. I was not in my right mind. I was drunk. It was very unpleasant. I can't understand why such... I see women and they're so pretty and they're so nice, and then I see them and then I see who they're with, and I'm just like, why? What is it in them? Because I understand that people see things in others that they like about themselves, or maybe they see things in others that they hate about themselves. Who knows? It depends on their astrology. And then I see it, I'm just like, what? I just don't. Is it blackmail? Because I know, because I grew up with the mail order bride generation. Blackmail. Mail order, like, that's human trafficking. How come we're not talking about dudes that freaking get their wives from overseas? Not, like, that's like the definition of, but if you meet online, it's okay. I don't understand this planet. It will never make sense to me. Is anybody else live today? On the internet? I'm tired of listening to other people and their perceptions about things. I'm even having a hard time with astrology right now. It's starting to get nice where I live, and I would just rather be out creating things in my local community. I am less outwardly focused, like out of like town. Ooh, out of town. I think I'm gonna take Mom for a spa day. Spa. What's that one up there that people travel far and wide to come to get all healed? My skin is looking pretty okay though. I'm not doing that bad for as old as I am. Old. Ojo Caliente Spa at a resort. Ooh, do they have food? Do they have food? Oh, wait a minute. Mom and I are going to have a spa day, I think. I'm going to take some pictures. Except all. Ojo Caliente. So is Caliente hot? Legendary healing waters. Let's see, how far is it? Arsenic pool? Isn't arsenic bad? February 10th through March 31st, the arsenic pool will be closed. There might be construction. Don't go to the spa right now. There's going to be construction. Spa, I can't go to another massage person though, because I'm not a cheater. I'm no cheater. They have, okay, so we might go up just to eat sometime. Mom might like that. We don't do wine. We like to keep our spirit and our soul sack in congruence. Breakfast 7:30 to 10, lunch 12 to 3, dinner 5 to 9:30, May to October, 5 to 9, November through April. I could dress. I could have a place where I could get fancy and go dress. Because I don't really feel like dressing up how I dress up and go eat it. Get a chili cheese dog. Because that's pretty much all I eat in Taos. I'll go to restaurants. I'll go to Legacy Cafe and I will get chili cheese dog. Red chili cheese dog with onions, purple onions grilled. And then there's a taco truck that I go to. that has good ones. Breakfast. Avocado toast, $18. Wow. What would Mom eat? Oat bowl, quinoa bowl. Cooked in oat nut. She could have that. Classic French toast with sliced strawberries. Breakfast burrito. She could have a tofu scramble. There's all kinds of stuff Mom can have. I think I'm gonna take Mom for a spa day. We don't care about soaking. I would do like no massage. No massage. Is it all massage? Sound healing. That's what. Well, I don't know about that either. I wonder what my hair would do with the hot oil treatment. The hair and head are wrapped. I don't think I could use their services. I think I could just eat their food. Let's see, what's the dine? They have like fish tacos. Bruschetta ceviche. I don't know. I am not so impressed. Understand, I stayed in like this freaking crazy hotel, so my bar for decadence is high. People don't think I look like much. This old broad's been around the block a time or two. Yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe the one down in Santa Fe. What's it say? Conde Nast Traveler Rewarder's Choice 2025. I just have a problem just hanging out in other people's juices where other people have been. It's an energetic thing. I think I'm just gonna stick with the lady that I got here because I'm less than ambitious these days. Ma, how you doing, Ma? Is Luna giving you enough room?
Yeah.
She took over your spot. She's happy though.
She's happy.
She's a happy girl. She's getting old. But she's doing me a favor by giving me a little bit of a break after Tucker left. She wants to be her own dog. She wants to be she came from such hard, like, the fact that's like my goal in life is my video game is to see how many people that I can help find peace in their heart from coming from such extreme, because there's so much ugly, because there's so many people that are just mad, and because their insides are matching their outsides. I'm trying to be so cognizant of what my face is doing. I'm trying so hard when I go out, like, smile, like, make it do those things when you do those talks when it feels like that. Make your feet, because I'm doing this a lot. Because I'm reconnaissance. I'm on high alert all the time. I got Scorpio moon. I am always looking at something. Inward, outward. And while I'm looking at so many things, there's so many things I miss. And that's how I learn lessons. By God smacks. By not paying attention. Should have been looking. Should have been paying attention. Yeah, that I have a brother that was so jerky and mean to me. I asked him one time, I said, why are you so mean to, like, why, I honestly don't know. And he said, because I want you to see how awful the world is. And I thought that was so weird. I said, well, I know the world's awful. You know, I was with you when the world was awful to both of us. We were in the same foxhole. Why? You know, like, you could have been my safe space. Like, Dad wasn't a good example of what a man is, and you just had to be another version of what it is to be a bad example of a man. He did do me a service by letting me know that the good ones, I'll believe they exist. Like Snuffleupagus. You know, it's kind of the same thing. The good man, the good, because look at the world. Is it so full of, there's so many more billionaires than any, more rich people than any other time in history at the same time, the same congruence. More poverty and misplaced people and refugees. Because we're all refugees, all of us. We're all refugees. We're all born to this world from maybe a peaceful place. And we come in, some kicking, some screaming, bah, I know what this is, I don't want to do this again. Fall in line, go along to get along, play the role. Don't make any waves, don't cause any problems, just get through this life and don't rock the boat. All the while the darkness grows. So what can you do? I don't let the darkness dwell in my proximity. That's all I can do. Is not be the darkness, not become the darkness. That's all I can do, is keep smiling. That's all. That is all that I can do to combat all the craziness in the world, is don't become part of the crazy. That's all I can do, is don't be the angry. Be the joyful, be the jovial, be the jolly. Don't be the angry, don't be the mad, don't be the antagonist, don't be the hellbringer, because there don't need to be no hell. Because people benefit more. It makes them, it feeds their power. It's all about feeding power and frequency and feeling in charge and control. I guarantee you put me in a room with anybody in Congress, any one of the main state, you put me in the room with any one of them, give me a hot mic with them, and they won't come out the same people, because they're actors. Poli-sci are acting classes. Political posturing is acting, is setting a stage. They make up different terms and then they say them over here and tell people, if you tell people you will be punished under the guise of national security. When my generation, like you couldn't have cameras and stuff. Now I looked up age on TikTok. You see these little dinker chicks out there on the flight line, doing a little like toe bar dance. Like, what are you even doing? When I was in, they taught you in basic training and tech school that you couldn't wear your uniform to Walmart. You had to fit into your local community. You couldn't let people know that you were military members. Right? But then you're military, but then look at all the benefits that people get. Come here. Eat for free. Your family has to pay, but you can eat for free because you're a military member. So then people start so when I got to my first duty station, when I say duty, I mean duty like dog duty, I go to Walmart and I'm like, wait a minute, they told us we can't do this. Oh, it's just another part of the script. It's another part of the role. Oh, you have to say it's like this. Just like the recruiter said, don't judge the military by basic training. That's not the military. And then he said, don't judge the military by tech school. That's not the really military. He said, and he goes, You can't really judge the military by your first duty station either, because that's not really the real military either. And then I just said, listen, dude, I'm only doing 6 years. I'm only doing this to get a college degree. I said, as far as I'm concerned, in the 6 years that I'm not doing the real military. How's that? I'll do the pretend military. And I started figuring out that's why so many single moms don't have enough food and can't pay their bills and stuff, and they're away from their kids because they can't live the American dream. So they hold people over, put people in bad situations, and it gets recruitment up. Make it hard for people, and then they got to do whatever. And then they figure out, oh, you join the military. If you're a slacker, you're going to love it. If you just, you know, if you're ambitious, if you care about working hard and just getting a steady paycheck and you just want to take, then it's going to be fine too. But I know people that were younger than me by years that are dead now because they went on the course and got, like I was enlisted with life, like retirees, transplant, organ transplant, heart disease. It's all that stuff. It's all the stuff. They use us as we're big pharma testers, man. We just got to do what we're told. They gave me 8 anthrax vaccine shots. It's a miracle I'm still alive. Because most people that got those aren't. And most people only got like 1. Because they're modified. They're modifying. Some of us have been modified since birth. They've been putting shit into me since I was in mom's, when I was in mom's incubator. When I was pregnant with mom, they've been putting shit in me my whole life. They alter the course of your body, and then it creates a dysregulation in your mind. It's like the phantom pains that people get when they amputees, they still feel their limbs there. Imagine you're gonna be, at what point in the gestation period it splits off, you're gonna be male, but then they put in hormone blockers, and then your whole life is diverted because now you're a female. You have all the characteristics and genetics and personality because you were gonna be a male, but then they hijacked it. You know who else is one of those? They're real famous. They're always outspoken in the bullshit. That Jamie Lee Curtis. Sometimes they mess up and make hermaphrodites where people have like both parts, and then they can decide like what they should be. Like, I mean, our whole society is run by freaking mad, crazy scientists that are freaking whacking body parts off people so they can do their weird stuff. Like, what is circumcision? You gonna tell me that's about cleanliness? Give me a fucking break, dude. Doesn't matter. Dudes are still dirty. Like, chicks always still get, because dudes are putting their dirty deeds in them. But it's her fault she's getting a bladder infection? Yeah, because she shouldn't be doing that. People shouldn't be hoeing around and sleeping around like they do. They got free will, and look what they get. The gift that never ends up, the gift that keeps on giving. Dude, I know chicks that have been, and dudes do it on purpose. It's like they're marking their thing. They'll give, and chicks will do it too. They'll like intentionally give people an STD because it's like they're marking them. Like they mark, like, I ruined them for life. Like, there's those minded people. You don't want to be like them. You don't think like them. You don't even know they exist. They're the people that run this world. That fly around playing their weird rituals and their weird this and their weird that, and all telling us that we're selfish if we want clean food and water. How dare us? The goys. They look at us like sheep and cattle. They think like they're nasty, they're gross. They're all Woody Allens. They're all Epsteins. They're all script writers. Like, they have mentality of a 15-year-old that has just gotten whatever he wanted and never learned to discipline himself. They're all Diddies. They're all Clyde Davises. They're all, because if you go back and look at who their parents are, I did that today with Rod Serling, the Twilight Zone guy. Every single one of them born into a Jew. The Jew is, if it says Jewish, they are the script writers to manipulate society. Hollywood is completely like the script is already given to somebody's long lost niece and nephew. It ain't gonna go to you, so you don't. But they can have institutions and schools to train you. You know, like you're gonna get the part, and if they find out you're related to somebody of some importance, maybe you will. But the world's evolving into this. The show is the people. The content is the character. Is going to be based on the content of one's character. I can't, most nonsense, I just to see what I just scroll through just to see what nonsense is out there, to see what other people are because this, all IT is, it's about how many times can you get the opposable thumb dumb one to click on the screen. It's about clicks. I learned about that in college. It's about how many clicks can human computer interface. It's about efficiency and how many clicks you could. I think it should be less, but the programmers evidently think it should be more, because it's IT is such an incestuous, dirty portal of choose your own adventure to dead end holes. And then you got like a bunch of freaking soda swilling, McDonald's grubbing, freaking video game playing, you know, in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Because that's the American program. Just play, work enough, appear to work hard enough at things that are insignificant so that you can support doing nothing in all the rest of your free time that is of any use. That is what America is. Idiocracy was made in 2007, and 19 years later, everywhere I go. I have never, I think one time in like the 90s maybe, before Crocs erupted, they were just garden shoes. They were just something that people put on their feet, and they were big and clunky, and then they erupted into this indicator of huh? I'm constantly baffled on this planet. Huh? But I look at it as an alien ant farm. I'm too in line with, like, you know, like the movies that are documentaries that they hide the truth and reality, like Men in Black and all the. I mean, I grew up with E.T. and all that stuff. I had my own alien or UFO encounters and going into their frequencies. I had a knowing one time that I was upstairs. They had a storage in the old age shop at Offutt. They had an upstairs where they had all these big old huge cabinets where you could keep all your gear in, like your go bag and stuff like that. Where you're ready, so if you're called, it's just right there at the shop, and then you could go catch your flight to parts unknown. And I kept my stuff up there, but I didn't really go up there very often. Other people went up there. I swear they climbed up in there and took naps. I swear they had like nests up there. But it wasn't my bag. But the first time I went up there ever to go like bring they assign you one, and I walked up there and I stepped up on the top deck, and it was all metal, and I felt this like vibration of the whole upper part, and I'm like, this is what the mothership, like, this is what it feels like in the ships. Like once you know things, and we're just, all we are is energy. All we are is frequency. That's all that people are. We animate a cellular soul sac body based on a little spark that ignites our heart. And then one day our hearts wear out. I believe hearts wear out. I know hearts wear out because people don't live from them. If you live from your heart, you're going to want to exercise that heart. You're going to look at that heart as more than what people do. Oh, it pumps your blood throughout your body. Oh, okay. Well, then why don't you let it? People sit in chairs and they never let the heart do its job. And that's weird to me. So even though I don't want to, I work my heart by doing my dumbbells. That's how I work the muscle in my heart. Because I can't walk a lot and stuff until well, I can one day. I have hope. I have high hopes, like a ram that breaks down a dam. Once I get my feet things, I have 3 planets in Pisces. My feet hurt. Your astrology plays out in your biology. It does. Your astrology plays out in your biology. I've been tracking this stuff my whole entire life because Mom got my chart done, first chart done when I was born. And so I learned about other people through learning about myself. Like when I see people that are mad, I'm like, okay, why are they mad? Because I know when I get mad, if I were them, I can understand why I would be mad. But that's no reason to be angry, because that's not how it is. You know, like all the dudes that have been hating me, I've had so many people be jerks to me because I'm like the best pal. I was the gay chick best friend. I was just as good as hanging out with the dude, only I was funnier, smarter, you know, more witty, more charming, and all they want to do is treat them like what they see on the porn movies, and the women are like, some of them are into it, but most of my friends couldn't understand why guys acted that way, and I was just like, oh, it's just because it's part of the program, because that's what they learn. They watch it on TV, and then they're like, they think that this is what people like. And if you don't really know what people like unless you know people. And how do you know people? I know people. Everybody I cross paths with, if I'm in proximity for any kind of like more than 5-10 minutes, I'm gonna know what their birthdays are. I know who, like, my auto mechanic, he's a Libra. And I was like, that tracks. I'm an Aries, you know? And they're always constant. They do so much, and they're balancing everything. Every Libra I ever met, I see a Libra, and it's just like, and it's usually self-serving. It's all for what they want to do. You know, anyway, this is my perception. And so they're the ones at the circus that have the sticks and they spin the plates on them, right? And they do this. Oh, this makes me look good. Oh, if I add another plate, that'll make me look great. Oh, if I add another plate, and they're always trying. And oh, wait, this one's slowing down, so you gotta run. Those are what Libras are to me, right? Right? But plates fall because they want to look so good by doing so many things that you can't possibly attend to everything you want. And so, like, my auto guy, like, but I don't care. Like, this guy can do anything. I trust his work, right? And he's not going to rip me off. He's not going to charge me for 7 hours of labor for an oil pan filter because I'm so trusting, right? And well, they lost my keys, and I knew they were going to find it. I thought it was something like it fell off a hook, and then somebody kicked it, and it slid, and it was under a bench someplace. But they'll move and sweep it, and they'll be like, oh, here's that lady's keys, but they found it in the Subaru. But I bought tape because I want to help them make a board so that they can keep everything organized and write on it with dry erase, and because that's what I did in production support, is like I made systems more efficient. That's why people hate me, because their B systems will fail. The earth will persevere and everyone on it, but they won't have their power. It'll be dispersed, and they don't want that to happen. So my little tube will never be large. I will never have a large channel. I don't want a large. I'm gonna start being out more. Well, maybe I'll be like I'll do stuff in my shop. I think maybe I'll do stuff in my shop, in my inventing. That's where, then I'll just be more in my community. Because, like, my day, I have no desire to go to Europe and see what Europe is like in 2026. I would rather hang out, go walk around town and run into somebody that was in Europe back in, like, when I was in high school, when everybody else was going to Europe. My brother got all the advantages. He got to backpack from Europe. He got like a car when he graduated, and when I would graduated, I got a t-shirt that said 4 years of school and all I get is this lousy t-shirt and no car. I threw it in the trash. My dad thought that was so funny. He thought that was the funniest thing. Like, and he refers to himself as dear old dad. Dear old dad. This is your dear old dad. I'm like, dude, you have been mean to me my whole... You are how I know what an asshole is. What a machismo is. Like, the way you act is and treat women... I see the men in their lives treating them that way, and I tell them, don't be like my dad. My dad's a total dick. He's an Aries. He's a total machismo, man. I can't fucking stand machismos. I can be a machismo if I'm not sweet and nice and light. But I've been listening to a lot of books that are helping me stay nice and light, to remember that nothing on this earth really matters, that I just need to watch. I just need to go through, eat good food, help other feet. I'm going to have a whole ass freaking camping kitchen. I'm going to pull out of a drawer of my Suburban, so whenever I see homies chilling in groups, I'm going to pull up. I'm going to be like, so what are the streets like? You know, here, let me get you some water. You want some fajitas today? Like, what do you want? You want tacos? Like, you want burrito? Like, what do you want? Like, I will cook for you because I care about you. And there's not a lot of things I can do in this world to show people that I care. But I can give them some good food for free, because food nurtures the body. When your body heals, your mind can start relaxing and maybe start believing that the whole world isn't against you. You know, I've had the times I just go, there's tricks that I do. I go, la 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 la. There's this old movie called Electric Dreams, and a song in it by Boy George, is called Love is Love is Love is Love is Love. And so when I start thinking negatively, too many negative thoughts, I'll just be like, stop. Love is love is love is love is love. And as long as I replace negative things with something positive, then I'm not going to be more of the bullshit adding to the world. So if I can just, it's like a game to me. If I could just live in this, like, I know stuff happens. If I can make jokes about it, oh well, I'm not going to let it break me down. Because they want me to freaking snap. Society is just waiting for Marge. We've been waiting for her, and they ain't going to do it because I already snapped. I snapped when I had to hold Tuck as he took his last breath. And that was the third dog in 11 months. And that is how I snapped. It broke my heart. Because they kept me here. And every time I lose something that I love, that it kept me here, I have to work harder to want to stay. And most days I just don't. I don't want to be on planet Earth. Earth is stupid. Earth is a very stupid place where a bunch of dumb people gather and do things like watch football games. And then I think about the industry of that and all the resources that are just wasted on all of that. The $1 billion, $30 billion, 30-second, all of it, marketing, all to create a contrived reality that America don't suck when it do. It makes my third eye twitch, man. I can't even... I go to the store and it's like a field trip to me. I get so excited. I always see new stuff. Whee! I love food. I love sharing food. Might have cheesecake for breakfast. I don't eat food at appropriate times. I'm telling you, I'm not of this earth. They've been tracking, and I was too late to the show to figure it out. Weird stuff has happened to me. Like, I would be at basic trading or tech school, cleaning an office, and they'd be like, "Hey, we just got this new brain scanner. Who wants to try it?" Like, the number, the level, my DNA is everywhere in labs. Mom too, because when I was born, they cut Mom's uterus in half and they took one of her egg sacs, her ovaries out. And I'm like, I knew it when I was a kid when I heard that story. Because she's all hacked up. She has scars all over her. I'd be like, what's that from? Well, when I was a kid, I was born with club feet, so they gave me surgery so I could walk. Well, what's that one from? Well, when you and your brother were born, they took you out. And this, like, what? And then they've been hacking her up. They stopped hacking her up when I became her caregiver. You know that? Well, the last time they hacked her up, she had a hernia. Because I was into pet dog rescue. So I got all my critters because I love them. Because I identify way better with animals than any other being that I've ever been able to exchange ideas and thoughts with. I have much more loving, deep, and carried relationships with cats, dogs, birds of all varieties. I like things that, I don't know, they don't cause harm on purpose like the beings of Earth do. They don't like to cause harm. They're not sadistic. They're not into, like, ooh, do this because it's, they're not as raunchy. They can be. You just don't see it as often because it's nature. All that stuff is just nature. It's how people, that's what nature is the natural way that people are. And my nature, I fight every day. My nature, I should have been at like 25, 30, 40 years in the military is what my nature is. And then I read a book yesterday that said they really do manipulate people by their birth and stuff like that. It's weird. They're like I heard something yesterday on this book I'm listening to. I think it's by John Campbell. Something about myth or other. And they're like, well, if he's born at this time, he's going to love his mother and dishonor his father. And if she's born at this time, she's going to honor their father and hate her mother. And that's what they tried to make me do, is hate my mom and turn against my mom, and I never would. I never would. That's my mom. Like, I don't care. Like, she hated me when I was a kid. She'd call my dad every month and be like, go, and I'd be like, Ma, you don't get it, Ma. You want me to go live with him? He don't want me either. Like, you want me to go live on the street? Am I that bad, Mom? Did I ever do anything that bad, Mom? But I was the source of her stress. See, because she would date men, and even as a little girl, I'd be like, they have bad eyes. From the time I was 2, I'd look at the TV, walk up to Bill Cosby with kids sitting on his lap from his show Candid Camera to the other one, kids say the darndest thing, and I'd be like, he has bad eyes. And I watched the kids, and the kids would be like squirm, and they'd be like, ew. Like, you could tell, because we come from source. We're the ultimate human lie detectors. That's why I'm a lie detector, because I never let my kid go. I never let the adult say, hey kid, get out of the driver's seat, I'm driving. No, my kid always said, no, let me do it. I'm 52, gonna be 52 years old in a couple months, and I still am driven by my heart, because that's what happens when you're driven by your heart. When you're driven by your ego, You let the grown-up take charge. You do what all the grown-ups tell you to do. You know, you dress this way, you act this way, you go there, you do that, you do what I say, because that's what grown-ups do. It's a bunch of bullshit. And I make fun of people for that. Like, being autonomous, that's a cool thing I learned about in AA. I don't go to AA no more, but I learned cool shit about it. Like, you can't tell people what to do. You can't make people do things. You can't and you can't make them make situations happy where things are scary, and then because, well, if people are scared, they're going to act like this. You can't cheat and stack the deck, and that's what America has for so long, and that's why it's collapsing. Because of karma. We put out the physical energy of just bombing because they wanted to pay old dudes to make bombs in factories. And then you got to empty out those factories, so we got to create engagement over there because freedom and democracy are under threat. So we drop our bombs in the desert in places we have no business, come back here, have parades about it, pat ourselves on the back so they can make more bombs. All for really no good reason. Because freedom is in here. Freedom's in your heart. It's in your third eye. It's not being constrained under any situation you are in. That's what freedom is. I had a hard time transitioning from 3D Earth to whatever realms I reside in. It wasn't easy because I was so programmed, and if I could just go do this, then everything would be okay, and that program dissolved when I came to the realization that I was going to be a stay-at-home daughter. That I made a commitment at 15, and if I was going to really honor that commitment to take care of mom, that now is the time. That I'm going to honor that commitment because it's going to be hard. And I know it's going to be hard, and Jerry ain't going to help you, and ain't nobody going to help you. And how are we going to pay the bills when I can't go to work? Because if I go to work, I don't got nobody that's going to feed mom and, make sure she's clean, because I don't trust nobody else with her. Because she came from systems that were deemed very untrustworthy, that have grown to an unsubstantiated grossness in 2026. That I do not trust strangers that get paid $12 an hour to take care of my mother. Society isn't made for people like me. Society isn't made for kids that are aged out of foster care, don't know how to take care of themselves, so they take to the streets and do all the things that people do because they want the things that they see on TV to be comfortable, because that's what they're told, that's what they need to be comfortable, and that's what they strive for. Now we're coming into an era that you can't in order to be comfortable, you just gotta learn how to be quiet and in the chaos, and to get out of the chaos safely. I'm one of those goofballs, man. I run towards this stuff. Like, I've always been like that. I don't go up there, dummy. I'm telling people on the, I don't watch scary movies, but I used to go along with people did. I go wrong with stuff. Don't do that. You're gonna, and then I'm in situations in life, and I'm the dummy. So, like, I'm a contrarian. I'm always getting new data that tells me if I should or shouldn't do something. Usually I should just mind my own business. Life is about experience, having experiences over and over again. And I see the same people, man, they live the same year verbatim. Like, how many people have their aunt that when have an aunt that, like, when they were a kid, maybe 8 or 9, they got a bag of roasted peanuts or something from a special vendor, right? And they only came out once a year. And that little girl's like, oh my God, she got everything she wanted that year. She was so excited. And then she ate those peanuts, right? She was just like, so she put all that excitement into the flavor of those peanuts. And then it was like, oh my God, Auntie, these peanuts are so great. But the kid's high in vibration. She's just not on Earth, right? Because she's in 3D world. And then so that's like thinks that the kid really loves those peanuts. No, it's the whole experience of the whole day. And so the kid, and then so the next year, little dad doesn't hang out with the little kid much, so doesn't really know what the kid liked. Then thinks back about last year, how much they like the roasted nuts. I'm gonna get them that again, right? But now the kid's a little bit older, doesn't get everything, so like now it gets the peanuts, and it's like, what? I got these peanuts again, right? But the ant is kind of oblivious in their own reality, isn't really paying attention. Fast forward 20 years, kids in the 30s, you know, ant still stuck in the loop, still getting that 28-year-old kid roasted nuts every year for, you know, and the kid's just like has a pile of roasted 20 bags of roasted nuts in the closet. Doesn't want to hurt auntie's feelings. Like, that's how easy people get stuck in loops, you know. I mean, is the niece a hoarder, or is the aunt obsessively thinking? Like, there's so many things to consider in the world that people just don't. They just don't. As my dear sweet friend, I like to consider things from objective points of view, though. And then sometimes I adamantly see how it could only possibly be one thing. So, but this buddy of mine called. There was something happened. I don't know if her refrigerator or something, an appliance was giving a warning indicator, and she called and designated as an emergency. And then the maintenance man shows up, like busting in to find out what it was, and then he was like mad at her because that was an emergency. And I said, okay, now let's look at this from a little bit higher perspective. Didn't you at some point have a gas leak in your apartment where firemen came, busted it, like, you know, like you had to run fans for hours, like there was an emergency? And she's like, yeah. And I said, okay, so that maintenance man is always, he's trying to fix all these apartments all over, right? And trying to go around just the frustration navigating between people's schedules, and just maintenance sucks. It just is a shitty thing, literally. And so you go around, and he goes, and I go, so he goes in and he sees what you consider emergency, but he's been in your apartment for an actual emergency to find out. He's gonna be like Mad Dad, like when he sees somebody almost get hurt, he's gonna act out angry. That's how I live my life. Like, I'm like angry dad, but I'm in a woman, so like I don't fit the role that I play. I'm just like what? No, I'm a bad auntie. Don't do that, kid. You're gonna get hurt. You want to know how I'm gonna know you're gonna get hurt? Now that would be so cool if people communicated that more. Because I'd be like, how? And they couldn't articulate it. They could see it in their head, but they couldn't. And I learned a long time ago that I can explain the process of my thoughts, and other people can't. Like, why are you, like, they can't even fathom processing how they feel. Because how many people don't feel? They have to do weird, gross things to try and invoke emotion in them, to try to gain advantage, because they don't feel. So you come across people that feel all of the spectrums, all of the colors of the rainbow, and they hate us. Because they have to, people like cut themselves. People, like, I burned my leg because I wanted to feel what it felt like. Because I'd seen people where, like, their families, their stepfathers got drunk and lit them on, where they were burned. They were burned beyond recognition. You couldn't tell that they were the person that they were before the fire. Like, their stepdad hated that got a thought in their mind that said, hurt, cause that, and so I wanted to feel how they felt, and I had to go, and it wasn't even to the depth of what they felt, but because I did have to go and stick my leg in where they scrubbed it. I can't remember what it's called. And I had third degree where my high top burnt down in my British night, my BK night high top, and they'd have to. I can't remember the word. Anyway, they just take it. They just like take a Brillo pad essentially and freaking just scrub off all the dead skin. And I could not be the person that did that job because I was and I tried so hard to stay. Like the smell of dead skin. Like people don't have to be dead to know what death smells like because you can still smell it. You can smell it. Like when my dogs were coming at the end of their life, you could smell it. That's why they say flies come with death, is because death comes with the smell. But people aren't sensitive enough to figure this out because they're not out. What are they doing? What are people in America doing these days? I'm like, dude, people have been shut up in their houses for like decades. Because I go out and everywhere I go, there people aren't. So what are they doing? They're at home saying they're working for home and they're playing video games. That's what they're doing. That is unproductive. That is unuseful. That doesn't do anything for the majority of the people that are support staff. Makes it hard for people that just collect trash, So I see the world a lot more open to opportunities because they can't. The gig is up. They don't have enough support staff to make the stage to get America to believe, or get the world to believe what America wants the world to believe it is. Because America's a liar. America's been lying about stuff. Pearl Harbor, maybe. Germany Nazi, I don't know. I just think it's weird because I learned in high school that it's so unfortunate they just basically escorted these people, like what was that play, Hansel and Gretel? I was like, so they're sacrificing people, but God did it for Jesus, so we're supposed to sacrifice people, right? Isn't that what the program dictates? No, my program says thou shalt not kill. So then you have these verses. The people that go with this program or the people that go with that program. And I went with this program so I could go with that program. And then I discovered what a program this was. I discovered all the programs. Anytime there's a program, there's always shadow in every group. There's always people with nefarious hearts that want to take the advantage away from others so that it fits into their pockets. It happens in AA. It happens. That's why I don't recognize any political party. It's all reindeer games. Anything in entertainment, that's all it is. Take it for face value. Don't let it program you. Because all these people that act this like on these shows that are so great, they're doing terrible things. Because most of them like drink too much I know a lot of people on their sober. I'm so happy to see people finally on their health journey, their health kick. Because I can help with that too. I just tell people all the stuff that I did, and most of that is indicative. It just means don't do all the stupid shit I used to do to keep me down in the gutters. So whatever, don't hang out with the people that I used to hang out with. Don't eat the same foods. Don't shop, become a different version of yourself by stopping the behaviors that made me the person that I didn't like. And if other people can just see how that there's a person on earth that has gone through hell just because it was the right thing to do, maybe more people will start doing the right thing. Or not. Now I've talked for an hour and a half. Ma, you starting to wake up, little lady? Huh? Are ya? She went back to sleep. I do my whole life. I put her to sleep. She wakes up with me yapping. She wakes up with me yapping, and then she goes to sleep. I don't know what I did with my phone. But I'm kind of tired of this song. I've been listening to the same song over and over because I don't know where my phone is. Oh, I'm so stiff. It's cold. But it'll warm up later. Oh, I was sitting on it. That ain't good. What's going on in the world today? Your mind is focused on love. Tell that special person you love them. Your heart is full and you are sure of your feelings and able to express them clearly. You may also find yourself the recipient of loving messages, gifts, or a proposal. See, that's why I feel like my life was hijacked, because most of my astrologies, I'm like, they must be talking about somebody else. Because that is not me. Let's see my co-star one now. What's my co-star one? Your day at a glance. Thinking happens through your entire body. Think with your knees. I do think with my knees, because when I stand up and I'm talking to people, if I'm like in my head and if I'm uncomfortable, I'm locking my knees. That's how people pass out. It's an indicator. Like, I think of so much in my head. That's why I'm trying to smile more. So people don't think I'm scared. Because I go out in the world and I'm just like, you all suck. Why are you so, work harder on yourself. Jeez, then I don't gotta have to look at so much uggos. I just make fun because mom. That's my face, dude. My nose is on. I go to the grocery store. I see my nose because mom was born 20 miles from where we live now. It doesn't even make any sense. Stop trying to think your way out of this mess. Your body already knows what your brain refuses to accept. Pay attention to where you feel tight, where you feel open. Act on that. Do skip school. Sick note, new shoes. Don't. Intolerance, monologue, remix. Too late. I'm already monologuing. I like to call it Margelogues. Intolerance? Nah. I'll let people be them. Just be you over there. I'll just stay in my space. It's cool. And then the dive deeper is, as a Pisces Venus, you possess the world through feeling and imagination rather than cold logic. But in a world that prizes clear linear thinking, your oceanic wisdom can seem murky, even nonsensical to others. Right now, though, you're experiencing a rare alignment. Trust what you know without needing to explain. That's kind of hella dope, actually. It's a pretty good one. I wonder how the day will unfold. Well, next I'm going to get off this yammering. I'm going to ask Mom if she's ready to wake up and get up out of bed. And if she is, we're going to do that. And if she's not, I'll probably go over and yammer some more on TikTok. Maybe. I don't know. Or maybe I'll go listen to Crasio Tasio astrology. Venus becomes visible and starts a new cycle. I just bit the back of my tongue. How do you bite the back of your tongue? Like, that's what I bit. That isn't cool. Okay. Go listen to some astrology. I got this book on Audible that I just started, or I keep listening. It's like I like to listen to stuff at night is my new thing. Myths of Light, Eastern Metaphors of the Eternal by Joseph Campbell. So my subconscious gets it. So I never know what's mine or what I get from others. So that's why I just always give props to the no place space. Give props to the accent. Just get quiet. You know, praying is asking the universe for guidance and direction on how you should safely and cautiously and coherently navigate through your life. And then meditation is getting quiet and then receiving the answers to those questions. But who does either of those things anymore? So everybody's just going around planet Earth. I'm just going to do what I want to do because don't you know who I am? And wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Dudes are in their freaking 20s and they're like, man, my body, I tell it, get all excited, be a man. And it just won't function like that. Because what is it to be a man? Sitting on your video game playing Call of Duty? And they're like, oh, I gotta be a man, so I'm gonna enlist. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna be a man. So I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna go be a Marine. How many Marines do you think? I want to run the queries. Because in these queries, I would ask questions like, what are the top 3 astrological signs by birthdays of Marines? I don't think that they're going to be Aries. I think they're going to be Pisces, Cancer, Virgo, Gemini. I think it'll be like a top. It'll be like the either the it's the overcompensators, the ones that feel pretty, so they want to, you know, like that's what the military is made of. Feminine energy is short hair. The moms that have short hair, they just got they don't got time. Like, you know, like mom always had big pretty hair because she took the time, right? I was off like doing stuff I shouldn't have been doing. But mom had pretty hair. When I went to the military, I said, just cut it off. I don't want to deal with it. Because this is what I have to do to go to college. Because one day I'm going to have to take care of mom. And so, like, let's get on with it. And my hair was, like, down. It was long. And so they cut it up to like that. And then I didn't get a haircut. Or no, it wasn't long. It was kind of shabby. Because I too busy trying to take care of myself, I don't think about hair much. And then now I think about hair because I have more time to think about me and less time like, okay, it's time to let the dogs out. Oh, are you know, thinking about the needs of others. I'm in a me phase right now because all my dogs died. And so I'm just going to take up a bunch of data on the warehouses. That's what I'll do. I'll just take up space. What's going on in the world? I don't even know what's going on in the world. Marge, you starting to wake up? Not yet? She already got up once and went to the restaurant. She got up in the middle of the night. I can't see, it's just stories. Whenever I open this and I just scroll through, like, it's just stories. It's just a story that they want to make significant to everybody. You ever been to Ukraine? I used to watch Oleg or whatever on those Two Broke Girls because it was silly. I like TV shows that have two things. There's two elements that I like a lot. Like, I mean, it could be raunchy, whatever, I don't care. But as long as it has, like, music, like a score in it, and a laugh track. Where there's, like, words said and the crowd goes, ah! Like a melodrama. That's my program. And, like, Mom, it's like that. I watch it now, and plus I liked it because it was about recovery, and there's, like, so many congruences to my life in that show. Like Marjorie I'm Marge, you know, in recovery. I didn't spawn. I mean, there's obvious differences, but there's just little hints of like everything I ever see. There's hints in it, and that's why I don't want. But there's so many movies the whole world has seen. I ain't never seen. I don't want to be a part of their mainstream. Their mainstream is weird. I don't want to be a part of that program. Like, how many people haven't seen Electric Dreams made in 1984, but they have seen The Notebook? I've never seen The Notebook. I could give a shit less about Ryan Gosling and blah blah blah. Like, you know, like that ain't my story. I don't want that. That's not, you know, like I like girls. I used to walk on the street with girl with it doesn't matter if it's just it's if it's somebody that it didn't even have to be if it's somebody I care about that I would always walk on the outside of the sidewalk always I would always my dad I would do that I would put them on the inside so if something happened that they would be safe that's just what's in me but I don't live in a society I mean that's like I'm a chivalrous person but I don't got a wiener you know. So I'm no man. I'm never, you know, people are like, you have penis envy. I'm like, no, I don't. Why? Like, they're ugly. Like, I don't envy, like, you know, like, that's why people like me because I have that. Like, how many girls have I known in my life that were freaking gorgeous, man? Drop dead stunning. They were freaking brilliant, smart, funny, the whole freaking package. Yet they were programmed by that this is who they're so and they didn't their heart wasn't in it. They didn't want to be with that dude, but he had a penis, so it's just what you got to do. Like I couldn't go with that program. I used to cry myself to sleep as a little girl because the idea of growing up and marrying a man with hairy butts just made me want to throw up. That's because I'm not a gay male. I'm not a homosexual man. And if you were earlier for that, that would make sense to you. Because we're all both. We're all hold both masculine and feminine energy. They just hike that. They just go to great lengths to manipulate people to use their emotions and their feelings for them or against them. Because people without emotions will do anything for power, and people will do with emotions will do anything to just find peace. And people without it will do anything to create havoc and war. Because they don't know what that peace is inside because they always got that you got to do this they're always driven by external forces and they will never know peace. So therefore, we'll never have peace on this earth unless they get up out of. Unless all my prayers all these decades were, please make all the bad guys get up out of their chairs and just go home. Come on, it'll be great. They haven't done it yet. Please just make them stop being a jerk, God. Please make her stop being a hoe. Please make them stop doing those drugs. Please make them stop drinking that alcohol. Please, I implore you. I will give you 10% of my earnings every month to give a pastor. To give to a pastor at a church that tells me that I need to believe in the please monster. So the pastor could drive freaking Maseratis and freaking, go vacation in the Philippines and where they have, 12 different genders? And he can be all the freaky he wants because it's not against the law. Anyway, alright, I'm done. That's what I got for now. Thanks for No, I want to do one more thing. Oh, the guy that played the cook, he was supposedly from Ukraine. I think that's where they're trying to, they put stuff on TV and then they make the world, Bob Walk likes to watch Castle. And there's episode, the Taliban, ISIS. Dude, that shit is CIA. That's like things that men sat around a table and said, This is what we need to tell the world that they need to be afraid of this week. Next week, we're going to tell them this. Next week, it's the sun blast. The week after that, it's going to be this sickness. The week after that, we'll invoke the fears for the Earth grid with I don't know, fire someplace, you know. But that's all right because we got this little character, Spencer Pratt. He'll be over here with the puppet that, you know, okay, it ain't gonna work out for their favor, but well, we'll just give the people things to believe in sometimes. Like New Mexico, these kids are going out with their signs that it makes me feel hopeful. It makes me feel all kinds of things. Okay, they go out with their signs. The words on these signs. These kids are hooked on phonics. These kids need things to do. Otherwise, we're just gonna have privatized prisons popping up all over the place, everywhere for our own safety. Because these kids, they have all this energy, all this passion, all this drive, and they have no place to direct it because they don't got the right cousin. They don't got their primo ain't the right primo, you know. Because there's all these generations that the important people got the good job, not the smart people, the important people. The people that will protect Epstein, because Zorro Ranch, man, I think he's there. I think he's freaking, because I think he's just under another agency, and because they're doing construction out there. They sold it to a private citizen. Like, you know, you can't fucking figure out who the perverts are, but you can't figure out who the private citizen that bought Zorro Ranch. It doesn't make sense. It's all bullshit. I want to go down there and I want to knock on the door and I want to say, hey, what's going on in there? What's going on in there? What are you guys doing in there? Because it's getting a dude. How come that's not in the news? Zorro Ranch is getting construction work is happening at Zorro Ranch. People are getting, hey man, I'm just getting a paycheck. I'm just going to work, man. I don't know what's happening there. I'm just doing my job. But it's getting all bricks on the whole front. It's getting all like castle enclosure and shit, you know. So I think he's there. He didn't die. He didn't die. The guy's not dead, dude. What, you think he's just gonna hang himself? I'm just gonna give up everything I have. Because the world is stupid. Whatever. Give me a freaking break. None of them die. I started seeing how they weren't dying when freaking JFK's or whatever that dude's son and his wife. Like, no, dude. I watch too much TV. You know what a cover-up is. That's how they learn about what a cover-up is they see it on TV and they're like, I can do that shit. I got enough money. I can make it happen. I can make it happen. I have that much power and control. Oh, yeah? Well, my mom was brilliant. She still couldn't figure out how to freaking, you know, get enough food for all of us. All three of us growing up without having to freaking give men things that they wanted to take that she never wanted to give. That stuff grosses me out. That's the stuff I want to see go away. I'm not going to ever snuff out the grossness. There's too many perverts. There's too many people into butt stuff on the planet. I'm not here to change nobody's mind. I just want people to understand that there's consequences to every action of every behavior we do. If we want that go fast lifestyle comes with consequences. It comes with things that you're gonna have to pay. There's gonna be dividends that there's gonna be hell, that there's gonna be demons. There's gonna have to, you know, because people don't have a personal constitution. They don't write out things that I will never do in life. Because when I was in AA, I heard a lot of people. It's yet. Because we all have the same potentials. We could all, if somebody makes us bad enough or puts us in harm's danger, harm's way, that like maybe my attitude about thou shalt not, might change, and hopefully it doesn't. That we don't know with the circumstances we give, and we're made to be hypocrites in this world, seemingly, and so with new information data, so it depends. But when people have so much and they choose to make suffering, like right now is just the grossest time on the planet right now. Like there's so many people without that like had their shit broke, like they like all the people in Nashville that went without power. You think all their stuff is fixed from all the water damage from the broken pipes and all that? Where are all the people that are gonna fix that? Like you think they're back to normal regular operation just because it's not in the news anymore? Like every time something bad happens to a bunch of people, those people still going on trying to contend with making their life better like it was before that bad thing happened. It doesn't matter if their kid dies, their loss of life. It doesn't matter. It's just whatever they had more than 3 days of darkness. All these people talking about 3 days of darkness. Some people had like 8-9 days, just because that's their story to be told. That's their experience to be had in this life, and to see if they're going to survive. And on the other side of that, are they going to still have a smile on their face, or are they going to be so mad about their situation in life that they're going to be bitter for all time? Which category are they going to fit in? Are you going to live from ego or spirit? That's basically the game I play every day. Marge, you gonna live from ego or spirit? You gonna play toy with this person? You gonna be a jerk? You gonna do all those narcissistic things that you have tendencies for because of who you are and who you're related to and how you were raised? Or are you gonna be different? You gonna do a 180? Do that off? Don't you want to act like this, Marge? What happens if you turn around and you acted this in completely different? Yep. Things turn out different. That's how lives change. I used to be like this, but now I'm like this, and my life got better because I chose better actions. It's not that I don't go around disrespecting all these people on planet Earth. I just have respect for people that do respectable things, and I just don't know where those examples of those people are. So I come up with my own derivative of what it would be to be a good example. When I was 15 in 1989, and Mom was in the hospital for a month, and I didn't have nobody to take care of me and look out for me and make sure I had food and stuff like that. What did I do? What person would I become after that? And all this stuff between then and now has built this character of the representation of who you see before you. And I haven't really. If you go and find, if people go dig up my past, like who is she? Let's figure out. Who is she? People are gonna be like, dude, she's the one that like broke up fights. Like she stuck up for the underdog. Like she was always cool to everybody. It didn't matter if they had money, if they didn't have report. Like she was just cool. She was always fair. That's what people would say about me. She was always fair. Because that's all I want is I just want fair. I don't want some people to get less because other people want more. Because that isn't fair. And so I've been hushed a lot and I've been silenced a lot, and I just have to just kind of smile, nod, and be like, okay, this is not my course of action, and be on my way. My fight is to not fight. That is my lesson in this life. Is because they create me to want to bring war and hell and wreckage on this earth, and basically throw a large tantrum so I end up in prison. And that's just me because I'm fighting against myself, and I stop fighting against myself. I don't want to hit nobody. When I get mad, it's because I'm like, dude, I know it's not right to hit you right now, but I want to hit you so bad because I grew up because people wanted me to act how they wanted me to act, and they would get the big person to come in to hit me, and then I would crumble because it hurts, and I would just go along with things because I don't like pain. And then I learned to just go limp, and then people don't want to play with you if you're just gonna be dead, unless they want to play with you because you're pretending like you are, because that's what they're into. Dude, rich people with advantage, the weird stuff they do to get their rocks off is what the world is opening their eyes to now. And it's their uncles, their brothers, their aunts, their nephews, their sisters, their cousins. It's everyone. It's people that they've known their whole life, and yet they didn't see it, or they saw it and they didn't care. It doesn't matter. It's gross, and it's taken over, and it's got to stop. It's predatory behavior. It's all that encompassing of Noonie, that's all of it. It's just gross and it's ending. That's what I got for now. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a rad day. And